Saul was disobedient to God. God had placed him in a position where he was king over the Israelites. But see, Saul was disobedient. He did things the way he wanted to do them. See, he started off being obedient to God, but he ended up, being full of pride, wanting to try to, appease the masses. And so, see, he went against what God had told him to do. And so he started doing things in his own way to get favor with men. And so, see, God revoked him as king. And so God had a replacement. See, he had a replacement. He had a choice. And see, when Samuel came, he told Samuel to go and point Jesse. He said, go out to Jesse's house, because see, Jesse had some sons that he was about to appoint one of them as the next place in line to be king. And so Jesse had taken out all his sons. See, Jesse had a son by the name of David, but he brought out all the other sons, and he left David out in the back somewhere out there tending to the sheep. And so he brought forth all his sons, who were all tall. They said they were tall. They were handsome, and these on the outside, from a physical appearance, they look like, oh, they would be a great king, because see, they have what man likes to look at. They had the looks. They had the nice physique. They tall, they got the nice physique, they look good, and they probably were intelligent. And see, they out here, they older, these are older sons. And so Samuel was looking at him. He get ready to appoint one of them as king, and he waiting for God to let him know which one he gonna choose between them. And so God said none of them. He didn't pick none of them. He said those aren't it. He says, ask him if he got another son. And so Samuel was like, do you have another son? Do you have another son? So they went and got Jesse from the back. He's like, he had a son out there tending to the sheep. So see, I guess Jesse didn't think that David would ever be chosen. See, he didn't think he was important enough to be chosen. So he brought forth all his other sons, all the older sons, and left Jesse in the background like he ain't even matter. It's like he already know that you ain't qualified. Ain't no way that they gonna want you. So he brought forth all his other sons and left Jesse in the background. But see, David wasn't the first choice when it came to his dad. See, David was last choice. David was last choice, but guess what? God had him as his first choice, because see, he said that's the one right there. When Jesse brought David to the front, he said, that's the one right there. That's the one you're going to anoint. See, a lot like David, a lot of you weren't the first choice. You were second choice. You were last choice. Maybe in your family, everybody overlooked you and they never looked to you. See, they underestimated you. Maybe when you were going to school, people who looked past you over, they did not recognize your skills and your gifts and your talents, and they overlooked you. Maybe when you were trying to get the promotion at work, they passed over you. They didn't want you around. See, they took you for granted. They didn't think that you had what it took to be in that position. Maybe the man or the woman that you tried to marry, see, they walked away from you. They didn't think you were what they wanted. They didn't think it was you or what they needed. But see, guess what? They picked somebody else over you. But guess what? God said you the first choice. You God's first choice. All the people who turned you down, all those who overlooked you, all those who failed to recognize your gifts and your talents. See, God is coming back around now. He's going to put you to the forefront. He's going to put you out here to the forefront, because see, now you God's first choice. And when you God's first choice, ain't nothing any of your enemies can do to stop you. Nobody else can put you to the background. See, because God said, I'm putting you to the front now. You are the choice that I've chosen. You are the one I appointed for the position. See, not everybody ain't got no choice but to take you now. Because see, you God's first choice. See, all of those who passed you over, just like David, when he was passed over, when Jesse, his own father, brought all his other sons there and act like he ain't had no other son, act like David wasn't his son and he didn't exist. No, God said, hey, wait a minute. That ain't the one who I chose. Go get the one who I chose. Because see, that's my first choice. They might not have recognized you. They might have discredited you. They all might have looked down on you, try to bring shame upon you, because see, they didn't want to think that you would ever be chosen. See, they did not recognize the gift that you were. But see, God has valued you. God has kept you for a place and for a time as this, because you have always been pushed to the background. You've always been overlooked or passed over. But see, God is saying that's about to come to an end, because see, you are my first choice. You have always been my first choice. And now I'm about to put you in the place where I want you to be. He's going to put you around people who are going to now give you the favor that you need. He's going to put you around the people who are going to now be the help, the divine help, and those who he is appointed to come in your life to get you to the place where he wants you to go, to help you do the things that he has appointed you to do. Because see, although everybody else, they did not recognize who you were, because see, they weren't listening to the Holy Spirit. They weren't following God's advice. They looking at things like a man look at them. They looking at you on the outside appearance, and they thinking that, oh, they can't, no way they can do what it is that God said for them to do. Ain't no way they can do this job. But see, God put something on the inside of you that a man who looking with his own physical eyes can't recognize. So you got to look with the spiritual eyes to see what it is that you got that is of high value and high esteem. See, the ones who pass you over, you are the one who could have benefited them. But they ain't got no choice now but to turn it all around. See, because God said, you pick wrong. See, this is why you have to look at things the way God looks at it. You can't go by the physical eye. See, God's ways are higher than ours. And that very person that you thinking that you putting last is the one that God said, I called them to be to the forefront. I called them to be first. And I'm here to let you know that all of you who have been turned over, all of you have been pushed to the background, all of you have been passed over. God is saying that you are my first choice. He's about to turn it all around. And he's about to put you where you need to be. He's about to give you the favor that you need to have. And you're about to do what it is that he has called you to do. Ain't nothing that a man can do to stop where his will is. When God is involved, when his Holy Spirit starts to move, no one. It don't matter what they say if you last. It don't matter if they said you sit back here. It don't matter if they pass you over. It don't matter because they're going to have to circle it back around now. They're going to have to appoint you.